You're the queens of the world.
Eu vago, I'm só. Sorriso é uma prima, tatuagem é uma prima do que vai no dor. Eu vago, I'm só. Sorriso é uma prima, tatuagem é uma prima do que vai no dor. Merci beaucoup, monsieur.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Overnighters TV, and the more observant of you, if you've just watched those opening credits, will have worked out that we went to Paris.
Yes, you will also have noticed that we are not in our usual positions because we are not in our usual van. This is a Bailey Alliance 76 and we've been test driving it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we took it with us for a couple of big road trips, one to Portsmouth, the historic dockyard at Portsmouth, where we looked at the Victory and the Mary Rose.
I'm absolutely blown away.
And my dad went up on a Spitfire. And then we went to the North Norfolk coast.
Yep.
All of those things you can see in later episodes later on this year.
Yeah, but back to Paris.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Last October, last half term, we decided we fancied a city break, something a bit different.
So after a stress-free ferry from Dover to Calais and then a 3-hour-ish drive, we arrived at the banks of the River Seine in search of our caravan and motorhome club site. So this is obviously West Paris.
Yeah, look, we're right on this. We're driving along the side of the river.
Yeah, but
driving along the side of the sea.
We're on the west side, aren't we? Coming in.
Side.
Coming from the west side.
Yeah.
West side.
Woo! Camping Paris. Exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks nice.
It does, doesn't it?
Nicey nice.
There's a little shop
Anybody in
there.
a shop?
But that's
Oh, there you go.
yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, great.
I think we need to park there and register.
Fantastic.
What do you think? Shall I put the levelers that we used to call chocks? Le choc? Shall we put le chocks underneath?
What do you think my answer's going to be?
But I feel like we're slightly downhill.
Do you know, slightly downhill rather than...
The whole holiday being massively downhill. Yeah. Okay.
Lois, look, we're here now. It's Paris. Woo, Paris. It's Paris.
I love Paris in the springtime.
Woo.
I love Paris in the fall. That's American for autumn.
Oh. Looks pretty flat to me. Looks good. Hey.
Good.
Great driving. Well done. I wouldn't have wanted to do that.
Well, it wasn't a very long drive in the first place, and actually, it wasn't that bad. Wow.
I'll go above the barbed wire.
I love a bit of barbed wire though. It makes me think we're in The Great Escape.
You always mention war films.
I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it.
Thank you, Basil.
Sybil.
Yes, the levelers, we were being really wussy there with them. They're absolutely fine to use. We just had one little mini disaster previously.
If you've seen episode 3 of Overnighters TV, you'll know what we mean. If you haven't, go and watch it.
Go see.
But we're fine with them now. And also at that site, at Camping de Paris, pretty much all the pictures are flat anyway.
Completely level, completely level.
It's a really, really great campsite. As we mentioned, it's right by the banks of the Seine.
Yep, and then there's a bus stop directly outside that you can jump on really cheaply, and it takes you directly to the metro, and then that's straight into the centre of Paris. Easy.
It's brilliant.
Easy.
Okay, so what's the plan for today?
See all of Paris.
See Paris and die.
Or rather not. Can I just see it and then come back and have some tea?
Thing is, if Lois doesn't get a move on, we're not going to see any of it.
Someone's going to die. Hello, darling. Hey, coat. You got coat? You said I didn't have to bring a coat.
Mother.
Mother dearest. God, this has got a pattern to it, hasn't it?
Oh, you're squishing it.
Right, let's go.
Okay, this way.
I feel
The
like
laces are undone.
I know, because I didn't have time to do them up. Go as quick as I can, so I'm putting myself in danger for you two.
Oh, thanks.
You're in serious danger.
Look. Well, mind your head.
Look, Mummy, we're definitely going to get on.
Merci. We are here.
Yes, we'll let everyone have it on. Hey.
It's quite vast and impressive, isn't it?
It's a bit big, isn't it? What is it? I think it is if you looked at every painting in the Louvre for 30 seconds or 1 minute, it would still take you 2 years to walk around the whole thing.
So is this all the Louvre?
Yeah.
Around here?
Pretty much, yeah. This is why it's so enormous.
So probably by the time everyone gets to actually finally see the Mona Lisa, no wonder they're so beside themselves with like, oh my God, it's there. That you can imagine why it's probably a bit of a letdown as well.
It is a massive letdown because it's so tiny and
Yeah.
so dull, and it's about 30 people deep when you get there. So
And then there's
What do you
the
mean 30 people deep?
it's so many people trying to see it
Oh,
that it's
is it not a big painting?
no, it's a tiny
How big?
painting.
What, like that big?
no, it's
double
about
that.
it's about that. It's about that.
No, not even that big.
No.
No, smaller than that.
But there's also the Venus de Milo, which is here, isn't it? Which is the one without the arm, the little statue, which is a bit of an anticlimax as well. But anyway, we're not going in, are we?
We're not going in,
decided-
but it's a lovely building, beautiful building.
And
very
also,
impressive.
what a lovely day it is today.
Oh yes.
But
Right.
we're going to go down to the Ile de la City. Oh, the Tut shop. Tut Suite.
Still the Louvre, or is that just the Louvre? And where we were before was actually the Palace, and we're completely wrong. I'm completely wrong.
Who knows? I was probably asking. You're asking the wrong person. So now we're walking across the bridge that takes us to the Ile de la City.
This is the oldest bridge in Paris, Pont Neuf.
Le Pont Neuf, the 9th bridge. Ah, voila. The Notre Dame. So there's the Notre Dame. What do we know about this place, Lois?
Nothing. It's French.
Okay.
That's about it.
What do we know about the Notre Dame?
There was a man who had a really bad case of sciatica that lived there. Couldn't get to an osteopath.
No. There we go.
Bells.
The bells have
Bells.
rolled down. The bells.
Oh,
Yes.
that made me so sad watching that when I was young.
Yes.
Properly sad.
Of course, the Hunchback of Notre Dame was written by.
Yeah.
Do you know who wrote the Hunchback of Notre Dame?
No. Walt Disney.
Oy. Walt Disney.
Yeah.
He did make a version of it. Although I think he was probably dead by the time that came out. Who?
Enid Blyton.
Victor Hugo,
Hugo.
who also wrote.
Les Miserables.
That's right.
Crazy pigeons. amazing. That's loads at once. That's not just one. Yeah.
We've done quite well to coincide this really inspiring conversation with the bells,
The bells,
of Notre
the
Dame.
bells. It's a Gothic cathedral. It was built in 13... Actually, it took 200 years to build. I remember that.
Thanks for waking me up. I was really happy there. You had a lovely little French siesta.
This is where I imagine Jean Valjean would have lived in Paris with Cosette.
Beautiful, isn't it? Look at that.
And there were the big gates. And they lived behind there.
Keep still, because I'm totally in trouble. Right, keep still.
Ah, love a good beret.
Listen very carefully. I will say this only once.
I thought you were doing a low impression.
What do you think I was doing? You stupid woman.
Yeah, right. Yes, Notre Dame.
I don't think you're a stupid woman. I was just doing an impression of Renee from Hello Hello.
Thank you for clearing that up. Notre Dame. We chose not to go in. There was so much to see. We had a really busy schedule, and although we went past, we didn't actually go in, and now we really wish we had.
Because as I'm sure you all know, there was this devastating fire in early April at the Notre Dame, gutted a lot of it, and there's this restoration going on now. They're raising hundreds of millions of pounds, the Parisians, and hopefully it will be back to its former glory soon.
Absolutely. But we chose to see some of the other sites on the Ile de la City. But before that, obviously, fill the bellies, time for some lunch.
Lunch. Merci beaucoup. Très bien. Look at that. Oh, maybe I won't want dinner tonight.
I bet we do.
I'm gonna want dinner. I'm always gonna want food.
So this is La Chapelle. What do we know about this?
Well, you can see here, look, this is what was totally basically trashed during the revolution. So they're now doing a really extensive...
Because it represented establishment, obviously. And
Yeah.
wow. Wow. So this is Marie Antoinette's prison.
Well, I don't think it was the whole thing was hers, but yeah,
But it's the one.
certainly.
But she's the most famous occupant,
Yeah.
tenant.
Yeah. Should we get doodles?
This is called a histopad.
Histopad.
And so this room, which is obviously completely empty, really, had lots of things in it at some point, and this is going to hopefully show us in a minute.
The Hall of Benetons. Oh, look at that. That's so cool.
Flashes all on it.
So that's what it would have looked like. Yeah, this is the kitchen, so that would be, all the meat would be on the big spit, cooking in there. I'm guessing there. The fireplace for the rotisserie. This is the bit where all the prisoners were. So you've got that door up there, that led to other dungeons.
This is the chap. He's the concierge, because this place is called the Conciergerie.
Might not lose those keys quite as much as we lose ours. That's stunning. No, one of the nice ones. I bet the prisoners were awful.
Bonjour, monsieur. Let me out.
No, chop off his head.
Okay, fine. Can you bring me some chips?
No.
So this is the women's courtyard.
Yeah, the women's courtyard. They're allowed out here for a very short time to chat, catch up on loose women
And
do their nails.
and get really worried about getting their head chopped off.
I think that's exactly it, isn't it? Yeah.
A
I mean,
little
just
bit worried about it.
they said this hasn't changed at all. Obviously, maybe the slate there, but
And Marie Antoinette was here for how many days?
76 days until she went.
So we didn't actually go into Sainte-Chapelle in the end, as there were queues just going right around the block.
Yeah, there were, but we did actually get to see the beautiful rose stained glass window from the outside. It was incredible.
But Le Concierge, Marie Antoinette's prison, that's definitely worth a visit, isn't it?
Absolutely brilliant, as long as you work out how to use the iPads, the iPad things.
iPad thing.
Took us a while.
It certainly did. But anyway, it was time for us to go and get on the bateau bus.
Ah, yeah. Boat bus, bateau.
On bateau, so a boat bus along the Seine. Well, I say it was time. We had a little bit of time to kill, so we went to find a little cafe for an afternoon beverage first. I think this is a bit like. This is kind of like Oxford Street we're on.
Yeah. So are you happy to be back here in Paris, Ryan?
Back here, yeah, because I'm such a Parisian, I'm such a francophile. I am actually. I like it a lot. It's great. I came on the school Paris trip twice. Once when I was 15 and once when I was 17. And
Were you a good boy?
kind of. Mr. Hart was our French teacher, and we drove around on this big coach around Paris every day, and he would always stand at the front with his microphone going, and if you look to your right, you will see it is the Musée d'Orsay. When I came in when I was a student in 1963, I remember, and we were just at the back just going, Kaiser. But yeah, we used to get dropped off outside somewhere like the Notre Dame or on the Place de la Concorde by the Eiffel Tower, and as soon as we get there, we'd just go around the corner somewhere that we could smoke at and try and chat up some girls.
Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful behaviour.
Anyway, but it's nice to be back. Yeah, what about you, Mo? You've been before, haven't you?
Yes, but I don't remember anything.
Come on, you must remember some of it.
No, I haven't been. I've been to Paris once before, 18 years ago. I brought my sister here because she was doing art A-level. And we came here on a W.H. Smith coach trip.
Nice.
It wasn't, honestly, and we stayed in pretty much the worst part of Paris. It was barely a hotel. I'd say it was really a brothel. It was awful. It was awful, dreadful, dangerous, awful place. But we had lots of fun and went to Picasso's house and did all the things that we do in Paris.
Brothel as well, or is
No,
he still there?
his house was brilliant. We should go, actually. We should go. We haven't got enough time.
What are your first impressions on your first full day?
Pretty much like London, I guess. Like obviously it looks a lot more French, but
Than London?
yes, but it's just quite. It's like West London or something.
What, overpriced and full of French people? No. Anyway, should we go and get the bateau bus?
Yeah. We inside or outside?
I think you'll want to be outside.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's beautiful, it's interesting, it's historic. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it.
So's those there. That's the concierge, isn't it?
Yes, concierge, interesting. Mr. Ponder.
This is the Pont Royal. There's the Louvre back there. And today now, we've been on trains, buses, and now the bateau bus. And if we kept going, if this boat did keep going, which it doesn't, but if it did, we would eventually actually get to our van, wouldn't we? In the Bois de Boulogne. which is out west. Up there's the old Torre Eiffel.
Aha.
There we go, look at that.
I'm having the best time.
Are you?
Yeah.
You weren't actually that bothered about coming to Paris, were you?
No, I wasn't, because there's no sea, and there's no mountains or dales or scenery. I thought
But actually,
it's stunning.
it's right up your street.
Right up my Strava.
History,
Yeah. River,
pretty things.
wine.
Oh, there's lots of that. So our first full day was a very, very long day.
Oh yes.
But we certainly crammed in the sights, didn't we?
We did, but we were shattered when we got back and starving. But luckily there's a really great little, big supermarket a few minutes away from the campsite. So Ryan rustled up one of his normal delicious culinary van delights.
What was it?
Can
you remember?
I actually can't remember. I was tired. I was really tired. We were asleep by 10 o'clock.
I genuinely can't remember
No,
though.
I can't either. It was lovely.
It was probably sausage based. I bet crisps. I bet there was a lot of crisps.
I was going to say it's more crisp based. But anyway, we were sound asleep by 10 o'clock.
But then we were up bright and early the next day. Who fancies breakfast? Yeah?
Yes, please. Bacon sarnie, please.
What's that noise I can hear?
I don't know, there's someone in bed with me.
Have you pulled again, Mel?
Look, you've either got it or you haven't. It's nothing I
and
can
you've
do.
definitely got it. All right.
Oi, you shouldn't pull.
You've got to... Oh, it's the lowest.
Stop! You can't put any of that in.
And it's a gorgeous day out there as well.
L'oiseau en avance attrape le ver.
What?
The early bird catches the worm.
Oh, yeah, right. Or the really annoying dad really winds up the teenager who then spends the rest of the day in a right strop.
Yeah. Anyway, it was time to get back into central Paris for a bit of an arty-farty kind of day, which is funny because the day before had probably been quite farty, but it was an arty-farty day. So today we are going over there to Le Musée d'Orsay. Lois, you're doing art for GCSE, aren't you?
Yes,
So we thought we'd come and visit some. All the art here is French, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Got my paints with me, I can do a bit of...
Oh, didn't know that.
Got my water.
So the Louvre is there, but we've chosen to give that one a miss and instead go here to the Musée d'Orsay.
No, she has got a sword. No, that's oh, that's oh yeah. That's a tree trunk. No, not his penis. There's a tree trunk, it's alright.
It did look like that.
So these are the sort of famous works of art that people may want to be looking at here in the Musée d'Orsay. It's got a kind of touch of the Grand Central Stations about it.
Nice, isn't it?
Or maybe that's where maybe where Grand Central Station is modelled on. And then down there we have a mini Statue of Liberty, because as all historians know, Lois, don't they? The Statue of Liberty in New York was a present from the French.
Right.
and that was like their mini version of it, and I'm guessing that is it.
Maybe that was their practice one.
Because all artists have like a practice, smaller one, don't they?
Yeah, you need to do a practice first. If you're going to do something really huge, you don't want to do a massive one and then go, oh no, I've forgotten an arm or something.
What we've just read, I didn't know, but that the Musée d'Orsay, the building, was originally intended as a railway station. So,
And now that makes total sense looking at it, doesn't it?
of course, and you don't want to miss your train, but also there's definitely some kind of inspiration that's gone into Grand Central Station in New York.
What if that fell off the wall?
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, but what if that fell off the wall?
It won't be great for us.
Yeah.
Not very good at people. Yeah, these people are a bit rubbish, but he's really good at cows and earth and soil. That's just stunning colours, isn't it? There's a lot of cleavage.
So that one was Monet, this one is Manet. Sur la plage.
I'll show you if any pictures that I'm doing in my artistic.
So, Boris Becker. Sorry.
You always get told off. Wherever we go, you can't help yourself, you get told
He who
off.
dares Rudders, he who dares Rudders. Rudders, I don't know why I'm doing it like Fagin. Yeah. He who dares Rodney. Oh no, I've turned into Boise now.
that's Boise.
He who dares Rodney. Yes, anyway, but the idea is if I don't take the camera in and do those things,
We
we're
don't
never going
get told off. Anyway, yes, continuing the artistic theme, we headed for the more bohemian side of the city.
Yes, to Montmartre.
Oh, nice.
Sorry. Yeah, but first Pigalle, much to our teenage daughter's embarrassment and annoyance. So we're on our way now to Pigalle, famous for Can-Can. Yeah, and why are you putting that face?
Where are we going to the street club?
We are not going to a strip club.
Here we are.
Sauna there. It's a little like a bit day spa.
Well,
I
you
think.
can maybe exfoliate.
Yes.
What do you think, Lois? Impressed?
No.
Hey Mel, go in there and say, I'll have £5 worth, please.
I've only got €10. What can I get for that?
Sex tour bus. We're going on a sex tour.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah? Behind us, there is the Sacré-Cœur. What do we know about the Sacré-Cœur?
It's this really big white building.
Lois, what do we know about the Sacré-Cœur? What do you think?
At the top of a hill.
Nothing.
Top of a hill.
Oh, yep.
It's lovely. It's lovely.
It's a real tourist trap. This one. Look,
It is.
Yeah, he's trying to. Oh, no, thanks. He's trying to save us sell us. Sorry, he's trying to sell us
And save us.
and save us. Yes. No padlocks. You know, and he'll engrave it, and then I can put, R and M forever and L forever. Who wants a padlock? Who wants a padlock? I think the French, they call it, they've got a nickname for it. I think it's the ice cream. They call it like the ice cream because they think it's a bit vulgar. What do you think? Would you lick that? Right, let's have a look.
One of those flick it across the
You're going to see me do it? Do you
moments.
want to see me do it, guys? Do you want to get me eating a snail on your Snapchat?
I think she's going to want to try one.
Let's film it. Come on, you got to film it. Right, ready? Cheers.
Bottoms up.
Right, good.
Yeah, that texture's lovely.
Would you like some, honey?
Yeah.
It's so meaty. It's good.
Oh, great.
So, l'escargot.
Yeah, lovely. I really, really, really genuinely like them.
Oh,
I wasn't
you
just
always
showing
do.
off like being show off,
No,
going,
you
oh
really
yeah,
do.
no, I really do like them. Although I can see watching it back that they do look a bit.
Oh, Lois was just mortified that you were eating them. She wouldn't even go near.
But you had some, didn't you?
I didn't eat the whole chewy, snaily bit. I dipped my bread in the garlic sauce. I like that bit. But
Who misses, yeah. But you know, it was a great way to end our Parisian experience.
yeah, fantastic 3 nights,
Well,
wasn't it?
I just think it's a really good example, whether it's Paris or whether it's other big cities. It's a really good example of how to use your van, your motorhome, your caravan, to go on a city break. Because
Off season.
well, yeah, because you might think to yourself, oh, well, you're going to have one of these kind of motorhomes or a van in order to obviously go to Cornwall and go to South Wales and see Scotland and all these amazing outdoor places, which
Yeah.
obviously
We do, which we love, yeah.
doing. But what a great way to go and do a city break, because
Yeah.
otherwise it would be a lot of money if
That
you were
cost a fortune.
flying or Eurostar,
or whatever.
and then a €200 a night hotel for a nice one, probably more than
more
that.
or for a nice one.
Or for a
even
horrible
more.
one like your brothel you mentioned earlier.
That truly was a brothel.
Was it actually a
really was
brothel?
It honestly was.
Did
But
you-
you
was-
asked my sister. Ask my sister. It was.
Why she an expert? Oh no, that's definitely a brothel. Yeah, because
She was with me. She was with me. Sorry.
yeah.
She was with me. It was a brothel. Those were the days where you booked your holidays in WH Smith's.
Well,
we just signed up for a coach
Was it a special
trip.
deal? Was it like what'd you get for that? Well, you get breakfast with that one. Did you get dinner? What'd you get for another?
Oh, I don't
Pay an
know.
extra 30 quid. You get a.
We were so
You get a
scared.
baguette.
We were so scared. We just ran into our room every night and locked the door and ate crisps.
Anyway,
and,
we digress.
yes.
The point is with a motorhome or a caravan, you can go to these city
have
breaks.
a city break.
And obviously, our Parisian experience at the Camping de Paris campsite was absolutely fantastic.
It
But
was.
anyway, it was time to kind of go home.
Yeah.
We had a ferry in the evening, so we decided we were going to go somewhere else for the day. So we drove all the way back up, and we went up to Norsica, which is a sea life centre
Amazing.
in Boulogne. So that was the plan. But anyway, this is us. This is us leaving the campsite and saying goodbye to Paris. Let's go
Let's go.
to Boulogne.
Okay.
Do you fancy that?
Yeah.
Lois?
Yeah.
Would you like to go to Norsica?
Yeah.
In Boulogne.
Bologna.
Boulogne. Let's do it. It's been good here though, isn't it?
Fantastic.
What a great site. And I imagine even in deepest midwinter, it's still not too sticky and mucky.
No, it all seems very dry, doesn't it?
Because there's a bit of green, but basically it's hard standing. So, but still with lots of lovely trees.
Boulogne-sur-Mer.
Boulogne. Oui, oui. And where are we off to, Lois? Tell us about Norsica.
It's full of sea creatures and fish and sea lions, and it's very French. Well, it's not really actually. It is French.
Very
but-
fishy.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going into the ocean. Can't help but performing, can he? Oh,
I'm alright. I'm alright. I'm alright. Wow, look at that.
amazing.
He used to do all these amazingly dangerous things, didn't he? And then he died.
The Aussie guy was wonderful.
But he died because of a stingray hitting him in the chest.
A single stingray straight through to his heart. Freak accident.
Look, can you see it?
Yeah. Look at the size.
I know, look at his front. Well, he's going to come forward to us in a minute. No, look, there's another one there. Oh, there's two big ones.
A lot of these fish have had Botox.
I just love the starfish.
They're cool, aren't they? They do stand out, don't they?
And they look almost fake because they're so thin.
Oh, what, the starfish? Yeah, those ones do. That's how you draw them as a child, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're always orange
No.
when you do them as a child.
Yeah. Hello, do you know the Philpott family?
Yeah. No.
There's a definite resemblance.
Oh, I've never seen those before. Beautiful. That's a nice That's what scared me when I was 4. He came up and did that in my face. Penguin.
I do feel a trifle peckish, actually. How was that?
Really good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It's lovely.
It's
Lovely
great.
to see her.
Lois being like a little girl again. No, it's so sweet because you're all excited. I loved it. I know I was more excited.
So Norsica, such a brilliant day out. Even Lois had a good time.
Which is apt, actually, because it's just started to rain.
Oh, yeah. Why is that?
Yes.
Why is that apt?
Because Norsica's wet.
Oh, sorry, I didn't get the connection.
Come on, Mel.
Sorry, get with it.
Yeah, so
Right.
if you've got a spare day, pop over to Norsica. If you've got a few more days, then go all the way down to Paris. But that's it for this episode of Overnighters TV. Hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't already, please do.
Please do. There'll be plenty more from this van in the next episode, because in the next episode, we'll be showing you when we went down to Portsmouth. Yes. We went to the historic dockyard where we saw the HMS Victory and we saw the Mary Rose, and then we watched my dad go up in a Spitfire. Okay.
Really
Are you
hurt my
alright?
face.
I love your commitment to your art.
I know. I mean it. I mean
But,
it.
so you can see all of that next time. But that's it for now. So thank you so much for watching. Give us a van wave.
Give us a van wave. Yeah. Au revoir.
Au revoir. Au revoir. Au
Adieu.
revoir.
Adieu. Adieu.
That was alright, wasn't it?
It was alright, but I think I've just broken my cheekbone.
Do you think I got enough sort of French references? I mean, we talked about, we did escargot,
Yeah,
brothels.
Yeah. You were Rene from Boulogne.
It was Rennie. I was also Boise.
Yeah, you were Boise. You were Fagin.
Yeah.
Neither of those are French.
Not really.
No, but no, you got plenty of jokes in.
It was good. I like this van.
It was nice. It's not
this
raining.
van. Yeah. Should we go back into the house?
Sorry, or should we just stay here?